Good evening. Thanks so much for joining us tonight. I'm Madeline White. Our newsroom is committed to bringing you and your family the critical information you need so we can all bounce back from these trying times together. It's what drives our Rebound Idaho series. Tonight, it's been a rough go for Idaho businesses lately, and that's why a local law firm is offering their help to the small businesses in Idaho feeling the pressure from COVID-19 pro bono. Idaho News 6 reporter Nicole Camarda learned what kind of legal advice they are giving and how businesses can sign up.
A nationwide program created by Lawyers for Good Government teamed up with Smith & Malik law firm to offer virtual 45-minute pro bono meetings for small business owners in Idaho suffering from COVID-19 troubles.
They get set up with a consultation with an attorney who is well-versed in the legal issues that are tied up with the COVID-19 situation and pandemic.
Some of the legal advice topics Smith & Malik can help with is trouble with paying vendors and lease agreements.
All of those issues are ones that we can help address, in addition to helping them kind of navigate what resources are available, financial resources are available or may be available to them to seek some sort of relief.
Nicole Camarda, Idaho News 6.
If you are a small business owner and need some legal advice, head to our website, idahonews6.com, to find out how to get started.
Congress's $600 enhancement on unemployment benefits technically doesn't expire until July 31st, but due to how benefits work, this will be the last time it's paid out. Our Madeline White spoke with an economist on what effect it could have in Boise. It's the latest in our Rebound Idaho series, aimed at keeping you and your family informed so we could all bounce back together.
Robert Spenlove knows money. A senior economist at Zion's Bank, he says the fallout from this virus has been enormous.
An impact greater really than any other recession that we've seen since the Great Depression.
In months following the initial shock on the system from the shutdowns,
we started to see the economy coming back a little bit.
The unemployment rate did drop, but as he points out, recent Idaho Department of Labor data shows that on the week ending July 11th, new initial claims for unemployment benefits actually rose 11% from the previous week.
Now as we're starting to see a resurgence of the cases, not only in the state but around the country, people are getting more reluctant, they're getting a little more nervous, and we're starting to see kind of a retrenchment, and that's causing some of those claims to go back up again.
And with the extra $600 per week in enhanced benefits expiring this week,
we could actually see another spike in unemployment once those benefits go away.
Why? He says it comes down to the basic principle of the more money put into an economy, the stronger an economy will be, even if unemployment remains a problem.
As those programs begin to end, you'll see less money in the overall economy, and you'll start to see, so if people aren't receiving those enhanced benefits, they won't be able to go out and spend that.
White House Chief of Staff Mark Meadows tells Fox News that work on a potential second stimulus package started Monday. Senate Republicans are generally against extending the full benefit. Democrats, on the other hand, want to continue it into 2021. It's possible Congress will try and pass a stimulus bill before the House begins its summer recess at the beginning of August. Madeline White, Idaho News 6.
Are you struggling due to the economic impacts of COVID-19 and have a story to share? Perhaps our Rebound team can help. Send a note to the email address on your screen. Fighting hunger one box at a time, hundreds of Idahoans lining up in their cars this afternoon at a drive-thru food distribution in Nampa. Our Madeline White joins us live from the event with more details.
Dawn, what you're seeing here is the Farmers to Families Food Box program in action. It's all part of the USDA's Coronavirus Food Assistance Program. They purchased hundreds of millions of dollars of dairy products, meat products, fresh fruits and vegetables from our farmers who have been hit hard by the effects of the pandemic. And it's now being given away in boxes by the Idaho Food Bank with no eligibility requirements.
This is an amazing thing that the people have arranged and gotten done for everyone. I just hope that they keep doing things like this because I know a lot of people still need it.
To maintain health and safety protocols, the people are staying in their cars, and the volunteers with the Idaho Food Bank are bringing the boxes into their trunks and back seats. They're expecting more than 1,000 people here today and 2 boxes per household. Now, sadly, hunger doesn't take a summer break. This week, with your help, the Scripps Howard Foundation, donated up to $12,000 because the community donated $15,000. And that provides more than 135,000 meals to Idahoans in need. But we're not done yet. Let's keep it going. Go to idahonews6.com/donate to learn how you can help end food insecurity in the Gem State. Live in Nampa, Madeline White, Idaho News 6.
For the majority of people who choose to comply with public health orders, there may be a few more challenging weeks ahead as Idaho Department of Labor representatives work to keep us up with the unprecedented demand. Idahoans who are struggling to get by say they're not being heard. Labor officials say they're making changes to catch up, but is it enough? Our Madeline White continues our Rebound Idaho coverage.
I set out to pull back the curtain a little on how Department of Labor employees are handling this spike in insurance claims, while also hearing from Idahoans who are stuck in a waiting game.
It's not coming, it's not showing up, there's no answers, no one knows.
Carissa Wright is a color specialist at Boise's Azure Hair Studio. She says the part of her job she misses the most is the lifting people up.
As an artist, not just a business owner, you have completely lost your outlet for creating and doing and an outlet to care for people.
She says she applied for unemployment benefits more than a month ago, but still hasn't gotten them.
We might possibly be able to go back to work, potentially start working again and opening the salon before we ever see any unemployment.
Department of Labor reps say self-employed Idahoans like Carissa likely won't be paid until mid-May since they only recently became eligible.
We've had to implement processes with our system, and we've had to wait for the federal government to give us guidance on how to do this.
With more than 110,000 claims that came in just in the first 5 weeks of the COVID-19 state of emergency, I asked what other new processes they're implementing to meet the demand.
Reader says they just hired 12 new people to answer phones.
We are going to continue to hire more, up to 52 people.
She says they're also working overtime, but on the same collective 8 to 5 shift.
Is there any plan to have hours shifted so where there's someone on, the night shift or anything like that?
Not at this time, because we have our folks pretty much working at full capacity.
Meanwhile, Carissa is using her free time to sew 150 headbands for healthcare workers with little buttons they can attach the strings of their masks to.
I had a client who is a nurse here locally. She's like, oh yeah, our ears are just raw from having to wear the mask so much.
Helping others feel good, just as she would in the salon.
If even one person feels cared for and encouraged, that means the world to me.
Details on how to contact Carissa for a free healthcare worker headband can be found on our website.
And visit our website, idahonews6.com/rebound, to learn what other resources can help keep you on your feet during this trying time. Madeline White, Idaho News 6.
The federal $600 a week boost to unemployment benefits ends this week. And so does the federal ban on evictions on rental units. Our Madeline White shares resources for renters worried about losing their homes.
Housing is healthcare, right? It's the recommended intervention right now during COVID. And to have all these households potentially not having housing in the near future is really scary for us as a community.
According to the most recent U.S. Census Bureau data, in week 11 of the COVID-19 crisis, Idaho experienced the most housing insecurity of any state in the Pacific Northwest.
The census reveals that roughly 24% of Idaho adults missed last month's rent or mortgage payment or have slight to no confidence that their household can pay next month's rent or mortgage on time. This an uptick from weeks prior, and Stephanie can attest to that.
Are you seeing more homelessness lately?
Yes, there's definitely been a pretty big uptick the last month and a half, and we're pretty sure that that's just the beginning.
Because back in March, the CARES Act put a moratorium on eviction, applying to renters in homes with federally backed mortgages held by Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac. That's set to expire Friday.
I'm really concerned about a lot of our properties are owned by people out of state who are not going to have any kind of a context for what it means to be evicting people in our community. And right now, if someone's evicted, it's going to be extremely hard for them to find a place to go.
She's urging at-risk renters to look into local resources like the Idaho Housing and Finance Association's Housing Preservation Program for short-term dollar assistance, and is urging landlords to call their offices at Catch before evicting someone so they can mediate and try and work something out.
We have a lot of federal funding and state funding pouring into the community to help prevent evictions. So if landlords are out there and their tenants are having a hard time paying their rent, we want to help you keep them housed.
Madeline White, Idaho News 6.
Going even further than the CARES Act moratorium did, all renters affected by COVID-19 who meet these qualifications now cannot be evicted for coming in short on rent starting Friday until December 31st. Calling it a, quote, monumental step, the National Housing Law Project praised it in a statement, saying it will protect families from homelessness and housing instability, which is a danger to everyone. But not everyone is as thrilled. Paul Smith of the Idaho Apartment Association, representing many Idaho landlords and property managers, told Fox 9 Now that, quote, housing providers didn't cause the crisis and shouldn't bear the brunt of it. However, he went on to say, quote, we don't anticipate many problems. This doesn't forgive rents. Late fees are still in effect. We can still file most evictions. It simply gives a defense to a tenant until January. Then they will have to pay, end quote. That's the part of it that worries Jody Peterson-Steigers, director of Interfaith Sanctuary.
It's not removing the problem, it's moving it down the calendar.
She says the number of people becoming homeless from COVID-19 is increasing.
The system has a lot of pressure on it right now.
And at Interfaith, she says they're at capacity.
On any given night, we don't really have space in our shelter to serve a bigger homeless population.
And the timing of its expiration date, she says, is concerning.
It's freezing cold in January in Idaho.
She says the upside is it gives people some time to come up with solutions and that she's working with her guests to help them find some.
So what that means is you need to be looking for employment, be getting connected to services, working with agencies that if you are at risk at all of not being able to pay your rent or lose your housing, this is going to buy you some time.
If you've been affected by COVID-19, the Idaho Housing Association still has several $1 million left to give to those who qualify. Just go to idahohousing.com to apply for their rental assistance program. Live in studio, Madeline White, Idaho News 6.